Did you hear me?
Yes, coach, it went to that other class. The question went to that other.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I know that
All right
one
then. So
talks
you
about
said,
appreciation. One
yeah,
was
so your husband is always complaining. You do the best you can. Okay, so one is what makes men resent their wives a few years in, and it looks like whatever they do, they're not happy, they're complaining. Okay. Um, you know, the funny thing is, one of the things that I wrote here, I said point to notes. I wrote that before we even went on the class. I said, know when you should know that when you live closely with someone, after a while, you begin to see the differences you have with the person as a fault, and you start to feel the need to change the person, right? This is what happens when two people live in the same space for a prolonged time. It can happen if one of them becomes unbearing to the other. And this is just talking on a platonic level now, not too deep. Um, when two people come together and they do not develop their friendship, when their relationship is not based on friendship, it becomes mechanical after a while. And, you know, like every machine that is not properly greased, it now starts having wear and tear. You know, you start having more friction than it should. It starts heating up and all that stuff. It's basically because their relationship is not founded on friendship. It's not founded on, I don't want to use the word love. I rather use the word friendship in this instance. Because see, if your relationship is founded on friendship, then resentment goes out of the window. Now, you might ask, so how do we foster or work on friendship now that we're already married? Okay, do what friends do. Take out time out, you and your spouse alone. Go out by yourself. Take out date nights. You know, it does not have to be expensive or something that will break the bank. Take out date nights. You guys take time with each other. Go by yourself. Talk about those things that you'd like to see in your marriages. Talk about what you like to experience. Ask your spouse what you would like, what he or she would like to you to. Okay, in this case, ask your spouse what you would like him, what he would like you to do differently. What are you not doing enough of? And don't ask these questions with your own questions that you want to tell him. Okay, you have said your own, Abby. Let me also tell you my own. No, 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 no. So if today is his day, don't tell him any of your own. Just go there and listen to his own. You know, ask him genuine questions. Let him ask you. But the idea is it's all about him. Find out what he wants. What are those things that he's dissatisfied about? Sometimes a woman can be overbearing just by wanting your husband to be the one that to do everything for you. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. You want him to be the one to take picture of you when you dress well. You want him to be the one to help you carry things out. You want him to be the one to come and pick you up. You want him to be the one. You want him to be the one. After a while, it can be overbearing. Do you get it? The things that you can do yourself, do them, and don't do it and nag him about that's how you left me that day, and I had to jump bus. That's how you did this. You now have to. That's how you did this. Counting all the wrongs that he's done. So when you count the man's wrong, you say, but that's what he does to me. But two wrongs don't make a right. If he counts a wrong against you, tell him, oh, honey, I'm sorry. You know I love you too much. If I didn't know better at the time, or oh, that was a mistake. It was not intentional. I said, but you said it was not intentional the other day. Say, yes, that's because I had to juggle A and B, and the network is fine. All right. So you need to be open to him, his criticism, but you need to teach him on how to constructively criticize you. So you teach him how you can receive correction. People receive correction in different ways, right? Some people don't like you correcting them openly. Some people don't like you shouting at them when you're correcting them. Some people don't. So you need to, you know the best way you receive correction. Teach him. Say, honey, if you really want to change on this thing. If you tell me like this, or help me do this thing will just change automatically. This is the reason why this is happening. But you see, things like that, you need to create the atmosphere for those kind of communications. But essentially, you know, in summary, it happens easier when you guys foster friendship. You're not nagging him, he's not nagging you, you're not abusive, you're respectful and all that stuff. So the moment you start working on friendship, start wooing him and he's wooing you, you are working towards him being your friend. Oh, what do you think about this? And he asks you, what do you think? You will start working towards being friends. Then resentment leaves the window. We can talk about friendship in a different class. We'll talk about building friendship with our spouses. That would be a very interesting one. Host, you can write it down. We could have that in one of the chapters, building friendship with our spouses. But that is the antidote for that question. Then to respond to the question of your husband says you do not yet see him as a husband. If your husband says you do not yet see him as a husband, then that is exactly what you are doing. You are not seeing him as a husband. What that means is that the things that make him feel like a husband are the things you are not doing. You might be doing every other thing right, but you are not doing the things that makes him feel like a husband. So your question should now be, what are the things that you are doing, or what are those things you are doing when he says that to you? Find out what those things are. If you cannot pin it down, ask him, sit him down and say, honey, for how many years we've been married? You've been saying I don't treat you like a husband, or I've not yet seen you as my husband. Tell me specifically. I have pen, I have paper. Start telling me now, what are those things that I am doing that makes you feel that way, or that I should be doing that will make you feel that way? Write them down. If he knows you are genuinely asking, he will genuinely give you answer. Write them down. You can come to our next class and read them out loud. And as a community, would talk about the best ways to go about it, the easiest and the best and the most effective ways to go about it. But truly, if a man says to you, you have not yet seen him as your husband, I will take it seriously, because he's done you a great deal of favor to even vocalize that to you. Most men would not say that to you, either because they're not intelligent enough to vocalize it that way, or they'll just keep quiet and do their mind. So the fact that the man says that to you means he is interested in you, as in the matter being fixed. He is still in love with you. He still cares for him to give you that feedback. So take it seriously, find out what those triggers are, and we can look at how to fix it. So that's the answer to that.
Wow.
Madam Host, can we go to another one?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Coach. It's been an amazing session as always. Thank you for the wisdom you always display when it comes to the class, the Wise Wife class. Thank you so much, sir. All right, Coach, we'll be going into our next segment now, and that is intimacy. Over to you, Coach.
All right, so I'll try to make intimacy class shorter, and that's because we've had a class on intimacy before. Maybe after the class, we can post the class on intimacy so that people can relive that moment. But I'll just try to add a few things. Now, for intimacy here, I just have 2 lines that I wrote out that you just pay attention to, then you can get the rest of it from the previous class. I wrote down here, I said, intimacy is in the small things. It is about how you do what you do and when. Intimacy is in the small things. Intimacy is not in the very big things. Intimacy is in the small things. If you pay attention to the small things, then you find that you have a high level of intimacy with your spouse, with your husband. I'll give you an idea of the small things. If your husband gives you, let's say, a million naira or 10 million naira or 50 million naira, you can scream, and you rejoice, and that's it. But if your husband helps you out to do those small things in the house, for some weird reason, you tend to appreciate it even more. It tends to get to you more. You get to feel this feeling. When he gives you $1 million, you don't shout you just scream, and after the rave is done. But when he pays attention to you on the small matters, it tends to get to you on a different level, on a deeper level. So guess what? That is the same way it is for the man. If you are able to let him win in the small things, he feels appreciated, and that's intimate. In one of our previous classes where we're talking about intimacy, I talked about vulnerability as a sign of intimacy. How vulnerable are you willing to be in the hands of your husband? And I know I mentioned a few things that day that host was screaming that I'm shaking the table. So I'm trying hard not to shake tables, but intimacy
Coach,
is,
shake it slightly. Thank
I
you.
should shake. All right, so let's give an instance, right, of intimacy. There are different levels of it, or let me not use different. There are different categories of intimacy. There are spiritual intimacy that you share with your spouse. There is emotional intimacy that you share with your spouse. There are physical intimacies that you share with your spouse, right? There are moments in between that fosters intimacy with your spouse. Are you able to make your husband relax? Are you able to make him laugh? Are you able to make your a yawn a safe space for your spouse? Does your husband feel safe around you? Even when he wants to tell you something that will get him into trouble, does he feel safe talking about those kind of things with you? If the answer is no, it is not so much of his fault that he's not able to open up to you. It is more or less your responsibility. You've not made him safe enough to be able to open up at that level with you. Because believe it or not, he's having that conversation with someone. It's just not you. He's sharing his intimate time with someone. It's just not you. It could even be with football. It could be that he shares his intimate time with football instead of with you. How do you buy into that? How do you buy into his intimate time? First, don't nag him about the things that he loves. Anything that you know he enjoys doing, don't nag him about it. As long as it's not something that is declared wrong by the Spirit of God or by the Word of God, then don't nag him about it. Try to enjoy it, something that's consistent with the Word of God. Like, for instance, football is not anti gospel. If your husband is someone that loves football, don't start preaching, hey, this is your love for football. One day, I don't even know whether football or me, who you love more. As a matter of fact, I believe you love football more than me. Your expectation shall not be cut short. Do you get it? So your husband and fight for him in a catchy.
Coach, we can't hear you. Or is it just me? We can't hear you, Coach.
In a way, attention. See the way
Ah,
get
Coach, the line went off and
football and his team is no.
hello, Coach. All right, Coach, can anybody hear me, please? I just need to be sure somebody can hear me. I can't hear anybody. Hey, not now, network. Can
You
anybody
can
hear
hear me,
I can hear you
right?
now. I can hear you, yeah.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear
Well, we can hear you.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Coach.
you. Okay, so I was saying, okay, talking about the little stuff. You distracted my line of thoughts now. And someone remind me. All right, I was already
Small.
in this, right? Now, now, if you listen to the previous recording, you would hear one part where I say when that's just a simple platonic way. When it comes to emotional, right? How do you create intimate moment emotionally? You need, as a woman, it takes a longer time for a woman to be emotionally turned on. All right. So that being the case, you need to ensure that you do not overwork yourself. As a woman, I have found that when women are stressed, it is difficult for them to be turned on emotionally. So since you want to have intimate moments with your husband, try not to overwork yourself so that you are emotionally ready for your husband. For those of you that have a busy work life, try to have specific days that you consecrate onto your husband, where you know that you say, honey, you know, when we talked about communication earlier, you tell your husband, honey, this weekend we're going to be having series of programs, so it's going to be busy. So please be patient with me. For the next 5 days, it's going to be busy, but I assure you that on Saturday is me and you. We'll do anything you want us to do, go anywhere we want us to go. Or on Sunday is me and you. You know, with that kind of promissory note, and you mean it, right? He is a little more patient with you. As a matter of fact, he can even help you through that stressful period, help you get your clothes ironed if he still irons, or take it to the laundry, you know, help you do this, help you do that, help you with the kids. Why? Because you already gave him heads up that, oh, it's going to be a stressful week, or it's going to be a demanding, not stressful, but a demanding week for you. And you say, oh, honey, these are the ways you could help me make this week easier. I would like to be more emotionally available to you this week, even though it's a demanding week. So in order to help me be more emotionally available, please help me do this, and that, so that I'm able to create time for us to be able to do this, and that together. Excellent communication ahead of time. So he's already planning. He knows that the fact that he's helping you, dropping you off, or he's picking you up, or he's helping you do this, or helping you cook, or helping you clean, or helping you do this, is so that there is a reward at the end of the tunnel. But bear in mind, don't make him feel that you can only give him intimacy based on reward. Intimacy should not be a reward system. It is a duty. You are only asking that he help you so that you can perform better in your duty. So don't say, you can't have it. I told you to help me wash plates. You did not wash plates. You're not coming to don't touch me, Jerry. No. Intimacy is not something you weaponize. If you do that, it would backfire. It always does. But you are asking for his help so that you can better perform in your own duties. And that's the way you put it to him. Honey, I want to perform excellently in my duty in this area, this area, this area. I need your help. Help me do this, so that I can better perform. Because you let him know, if he doesn't help you, you will still perform, but it might not be to your own satisfaction. You want to perform in a way that will blow his mind. So please, you need his help XYZ so that you can also perform to blow his mind. Not that you will not be available, but you'll be available even better if he helps you. You see how communication and understanding also plays a role in intimacy. And I said intimacy is in the small things, how he helps you do stuff, how you help him do stuff, how you look and say, this your shirt is rumpled, let me help you iron it. Even though you know it's a manly thing, but you say, let me help you iron it. I want you to always look sharp. My husband needs to always look sharp. That communication, you are not saying he's not sharp. You are saying you want him to look better. It makes him feel kingly. It makes him feel respected and loved. Say, have you eaten? Say, no, say, sorry, I got home late. Oh, I've just been thinking about, oh God, my husband is hungry at home all through. I could not even think. All the things that they gave me, I was just making mistakes, but I was just thinking that I've not prepared something for you. So he knows he has value. Not that you come and say, have you eaten? Say, no, say, oh, you know I'm running late. You not even go and prepare anything, Abby. You are waiting for me that is running late to come and blah, 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 blah. You just go on. No, you have to make him believe that he is topmost in your mind. So you look at all those little things. He gets up, he dresses up, he wants to leave. You call him, where are you? Sir, I'm outside. Outside where? So I'm about to leave. So you didn't allow me look at you. Let me be sure that there is no stain on your body. You want to go there and disgrace us, Abby? Come, let me look at you. Let me be sure that you did your hair well, or you did this well, you did that well. Imagine if that's the kind of attention you give to your husband. Guess what? You are going to be the first recipient of it. He's going to give you the same kind of attention. You know, look for his trouble in a righteous way. He's watching football. Come and sit down on his lap when he's watching football, for instance. You know, and you say, come, I want to watch this game. You play with your husband. Play. Not everything has to be serious. Learn to have a playful habit around him. That's a sign of intimacy. Learn to have playful habits around him. Let everything not be a target. everything be a chore. Let some things be natural, be happy, be playful, be his baby. I didn't say be his burden, be his baby. You know, play with him, rub his head, pull his ear. Don't pull his ear when he's hungry. A hungry dog is an angry dog. I did not say pull his ear when he's hungry. But if you fed him fat, you can pull his ear. You can sit on his lap. You can jump on his back. And let your children see you being intimate with your husband in many ways. Let them see you playing with your husband. Let them see you, doing funny stuff with your husband, being emotionally available, because they also are learning. That's a way of also training the next generation, how to be pampered, how to be loved. Put yourself where your husband is able to pamper and love you. Don't be forming Voltron for your husband. Don't be raising your two shoulders up, for your husband. Because the moment you do that, you are telling him you do not need him. And the more you tell him you don't need him, the more he starts to go towards where he's being needed. So like I said, intimacy is in the small stuff. Sometimes you want to get something up of the cupboard. You know that if you put a chair, you will get there, but you know that your husband is taller than you and he can get it. Honey, please, can you come and help me? Then he comes and he helps you. Even if he's frowning, hold him, give him a peck, say thank you, and continue what you are doing. Tomorrow, when you tell him, come and help me, he will already get there because he knows that, for the past 1 week, you've not remembered to give him a peck. Perhaps when he does that, you give him a kiss. Do you get it? So do things like that, to get his attention. Do things like that to give him attention. So intimacy is not just getting his attention. Intimacy is also in you giving him attention. Intimacy is also, don't let him be the one running after you for sex. Sometimes be the one to initiate it. As a matter of fact, it's always better when you are the one initiating. Anyways, as a woman, it's better when the woman is initiating. Because after the man gets rejection too many times, he just feels he's not worthy. He just feels like, oh, you know what? It's a reward system. It feels like it's something you only agree to do only when you are thinking about making babies, or when he buys you a car, or when he gives you a gift. It shouldn't be that way. It's a responsibility, but you present it to him in a way that is beautiful. So don't allow your husband be the one that is always requesting for sex. Now, some ladies, and we'll be able to dive a little deeper with regards to this topic, some ladies would say that the husband does not satisfy them sexually or does not turn them on sexually. You are partly the cause. You have never communicated to your husband how you can be satisfied sexually. If you tell him how you want to be satisfied sexually, I bet that he would learn and he would do it. Some ladies will say, coach, even me that you're talking to, I don't even know how to satisfy me. I don't know what satisfaction is, what sexual satisfaction is. Okay, madam, read. If you want time to read, because you need 2 days to rest. Okay, or 3 days to rest. From the 4 that you already do, take one and be the one that initiates that one, and make it stand out, make it special, let it be something that he looks forward to. Start to tell him at the beginning of the day that, sure, today is my day. Start to have, teasers, so that he comes home expectant, he comes home ready, and you also work on yourself not to be tired on that day. You are ready mentally, you are ready physically. It becomes something you guys share. And I said in the previous classes, when it comes to sexual intimacy, don't always be in a hurry to have sexual intimacy with your husband in the dark. Don't do that. Sometimes, yes, it might be necessary, but don't make it a habit. Let the light be on. Look at what you are feeding on. Let him see you as you are. See him as he is. Don't be ashamed of your spouse, and don't let your spouse be ashamed of you. Show yourself off to him. Let him show himself off to you. These are signs and experiences of intimacy. Hold his hand. Let him hold your hand. Hug him. Let him. I'm talking about skin to skin hugging, not you are wearing kaftan or you are wearing something that your great grandmother gave to you. Not something like that. Skin to skin. Hold him. Hug him. Let him hold you. Hug you. If he's scared to put his hand in certain parts of your body, take his hand. Put it there, because that is your own way of showing him that you have given him permission to do so. Lean on him. Hold him. These are signs, because you see, when you guys have dispute, this might be a way to break the ice. So we're having an argument about something. Today's my day. Leave the argument till tomorrow. When we are done, you can continue your argument tomorrow. Don't use your argument to spoil my day. Today's my day. I've been looking forward to this day. And it turns into laughter. You say, so all the seriousness I'm talking now, that is where your mind is. This is your dirty mind. So no, I have a righteous mind. My mind is not dirty. This, God made it. It was not made by the devil. This is why one of the reasons why we're married. Me, I must enjoy myself. I don't know the one you're talking about. Now, what seemed like a serious conflict, all of a sudden, it becomes light. It becomes a non-issue because you have developed icebreakers. Never let any discussion or dispute take that day. Don't use because we argued like this 2 hours ago, we're not having it anymore. Don't do that. You have weaponized it. Never weaponize your intimate moments with your spouse. Don't do it. Don't allow him do it. Don't do it. If he tries to do it, go into the house, ensure the kids have gone to bed, come out with one see-through wrapper. When you get there, remove the see-through wrapper and sit down on his lap without wearing anything and see if the quarrel continues. But how can you do that when you are doing Holy Mother of God? So even when he comes out to you, ensure that all the lights are off, the windows are locked, the doors are locked, even the AC, don't turn it on self because air must not come in from anywhere. So the experience you have is always frightening. Don't do that. Let your experience with him leave you with good memories and leaves him also with good memories. Let it be something that makes him salivate. In one of the past classes, I talked about in the space of intimacy, when your husband is caressing you, don't push him away. As a matter of fact, jump at it. Jump at it. Do you get it? The day I talked about how to breastfeed people should breastfeed their husband, some women almost stuff their ears with a stick. I'm wondering to you, this guy was breastfed by his mom for how long? It is an experience that he misses. Then he married you because you are shaped in a certain way. Then you are now giving him everything but one of the reasons why he married you. You are a size 42 or a 47, and I mean bust-wise, but he has never benefited you of being a 42. Why? Then you are wondering why he's coming home by 1:30. He is going hunting for another size 42 to assist you since you are delegating your responsibility or relinquishing your responsibility. Some will say, you're meaning that I should now put my boobs in my husband's mouth? Of course, yes. It is him that owns you and the boobs and every other thing that goes with you. I don't understand you. Is it not a sin? Please show me where, because I will show you where in Songs of Solomon, where it is not a sin. It is his right, bona fide right. He can put his mouth anywhere in your body that he wants to put his mouth. And you should encourage him. So, if your husband is being resentful, perhaps this is why he's being resentful. You are depriving him of what is rightfully his. Or it could be that you don't take good care of yourself, and each time you walk into the room, certain kind of smell walking with you, and he does not know how to tell you. So prepare yourself well. Take good showers. Brush your mouth well. Shave your armpits well, and every other places that require shaving. If you cannot reach that place that requires shaving, ask for your husband's help. Give him the shaving stick or the clipper or whatever you use. Let him help you. It is his responsibility to help you be clean. Some of you, and like I said, this is me going a little deeper. Some of you has never shaved before. Some of you have never shaved before, and I'm wondering, what the hell? What, are you trying to raise a forest? I don't know. Shave, look clean, look like a baby. Cream your body, look tender, feel tender. These are signs of intimacy. Do you get it? You do not, sorry, I hope I've not exceeded my time. You know, you have to. It's not whether you feel like it's not an issue of feeling. You're an adult. You've gone beyond. I don't feel like doing that with my husband. Okay, no problem. I can tell you the end of the story. Somebody else will help you do it. It is not prophesying. It's just what he's he's a man of God, or he's a man of God. He will not do that. Okay, no problem. They should be learning so that they'll be experienced when they now get married. If they are singles, I was not expecting singles to be in the meeting, but since they are there, they should learn. Because some singles miss the class anyway. Their parents or their what's it called now? Those that raised them didn't tell them about it. Yeah, I know, right? They missed that class. They didn't tell you the whole story. I know most parents, especially mothers, didn't tell their children, their daughters this story. They taught their daughters on how to be girls. They didn't teach their daughters on how to be wives. This is how to be a wife. From a husband's perspective, this is how to be a wife. Because see, in conclusion, because I'm looking at time, it's already 10 p.m.-ish your time. In conclusion, you must understand that in almost every other thing a man can pay for. A man can pay for someone to clean the house. A man can pay for someone to cook. A man can pay for a personal assistant. But you see, a man is not supposed to pay for sex. So sex is one of those things that intimacy, let me put it that way, is one of those things that differentiates you and his PA. He is not supposed to be intimate with his PA. He's not supposed to be intimate with the lady in his office. He's only supposed to be intimate with you. So if you now take the intimacy out of the table, then you are not any different. You're not different from the ladies in his office or his PA or those that walk around. You're not any different. This is what stands you out from every other woman in his life. Intimacy stands you out. He can pay for every other thing. Someone to wash his clothes, someone to cook for him, someone to clean the house, someone to do that. As a bachelor, he can pay for all that. But he married you because he wanted both of you to be intimate. So you cannot underrate intimacy. You cannot even rate it below, what's it called? Below your children. Say, my children come first before intimacy with my husband. Auntie, you are driving on the wrong lane. No? You are driving on the wrong lane. You were first a wife before you were a mother. Better drive back on the right lane. Don't go and tell your husband, my children come first. Those children are going to grow up and leave the house. It don't be for you. And guess what? A man is still active at 90. A woman isn't. It is the seed you sow when you are younger that you enjoy when you are older. Think about it. Oh. So like I said, I'll round up with that. We'll probably have a much longer class if need be, much later, either in the month or as time rolls by, right? I hope you got a thing or two. At this point, I would open up the floor to questions. And please, there are no questions that are too far. There are no questions that are too adultly. Construct or rephrase it any way you see that you're comfortable. But if there are questions in your mind, this is what this community is for. Ask the question. You are getting a rare opportunity of asking someone that is also a husband why husband think or act a certain way. You are not trying to consult with another wife that is guessing. I am a husband. I am telling you, this is one thing that is general for husbands. Husbands don't like being rejected. Husbands like women that understand them. Husbands like women that are obedient. Husbands like women that are respectful. Husbands like women that present themselves to them as like food. You decorate yourself and present yourself to your husband. He feels like a king. And if he's not doing you well, teach him how to do you well, so that he's happy, you are happy, and the home will be happy. All right, so I'm opening up the floor now to questions. Let me hear them. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, Coach. Amazing, amazing, amazing section. Please, if you learned one thing or the other, please kindly use the reaction button. We just want to know that you are there. Just to know that you're there and the phone is not somewhere else. Just use the reaction button. Can anybody hear me, please?
I can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Okay. We have to do our final segment now. So please kindly bear with us 1 more minute. Yes, so we're going to be taking our final segment now. We'll log out and log back in. Thank you.
Please put your questions on the group, on the Wise Wives